Filipino kid brings Elvis back to life on AGT 2025. Judges stunned. When 12-year-old Miguel Cruz walked onto the America's Got Talent stage, the audience barely noticed him. He was small, shy, and clutched an old, weathered guitar with trembling hands. The spotlight felt blinding, and for a moment, he couldn't move. Simon Cowell leaned forward, eyebrow raised, clearly skeptical. "What's your name, young man?" he asked. Miguel swallowed hard. "My name is Miguel. I'm from Manila, Philippines." The audience offered polite applause, but no one expected much. After all, he was just a kid with a second-hand guitar, wearing a suit 2 sizes too big. But in the front row, his mother clasped her hands tightly, whispering a prayer under her breath. It had taken everything, selling their old tricycle, working extra shifts at a diner, and sleeping in borrowed rooms, to afford this one chance. Simon asked, "What will you be singing today?" Miguel hesitated, then smiled nervously. "I'll be singing an Elvis Presley song, Can't Help Falling in Love." A murmur rippled through the crowd. Elvis? On AGT? That was a bold choice. Miguel took a deep breath, closed his eyes, and strummed the first chord. The moment his voice broke the silence, time seemed to stop. It wasn't just that he sang well, it was how he sang. His tone was warm, deep, hauntingly mature for a boy his age. He didn't imitate Elvis, he channeled him, with a soul that felt older than his years. The judges froze. Simon's skeptical look melted into shock. Heidi covered her mouth. Sophia whispered, "Oh my God." The audience sat completely still, drawn into the tender magic of a boy who sang as if the king himself had lent him his spirit. Miguel's voice quivered slightly on the final verse, but he finished strong, eyes still closed, tears glistening beneath his lashes. When he opened them, the entire auditorium was on its feet. The crowd roared. People were crying, cheering, waving flags. Even Simon Cowell stood up, clapping slowly, his expression somewhere between disbelief and admiration. But for Miguel, it wasn't about fame. He wasn't there for the applause. He was thinking about his father. 2 years earlier, his dad, a jeepney driver with an endless smile and a love for Elvis songs, had died in a road accident. Every night before bed, his father used to play Can't Help Falling in Love on the radio, humming along and teaching Miguel to mimic the king's voice. "You've got the soul for it, Anik," he'd say, ruffling his hair. "Promise me you'll keep singing, no matter what." After his death, Miguel couldn't sing for months. Music reminded him too much of what he'd lost. But one night, while helping his mother clean tables at a small cafe, a customer accidentally left an old guitar behind. Miguel took it home, tuned it up, and for the first time since his father's funeral, he played their song. That night, his mother stood at the door, tears streaming, as her son's voice filled their tiny apartment, soft, pure, and full of love. That was when she decided to take a risk. She sold what little they had and booked 2 plane tickets to America. "Your papa believed in you," she said. "Now let the world hear you." Back on the AGT stage, Simon leaned forward, pressing the golden buzzer. The crowd erupted. Gold confetti rained from above, swirling around Miguel like a halo. He looked up, stunned, and then toward his mother. She was crying uncontrollably, clutching her chest, whispering, "He did it, he really did it." As Miguel stood there, overwhelmed, Simon walked to the stage and put a hand on the boy's shoulder. "Miguel," he said softly, "I've heard thousands of voices in my life, but yours has heart. You didn't just sing Elvis, you brought him back to life. That was pure magic." Miguel smiled through his tears. "Thank you, sir," he said, his voice trembling. "I just wanted to make my dad proud." The crowd went silent again, until Miguel's mother stepped forward, holding out the worn guitar. "This was his father's," she said to the judges. "He learned to play on it. We came here to keep his father's dream alive." Simon took the guitar for a moment, then handed it back gently. "Then he's watching tonight," he said. "And he's proud." After the show, clips of Miguel's performance went viral around the world. People called him the boy who brought Elvis back. Radio stations replayed his audition. Celebrities posted reactions. But the most touching moment came a week later when Miguel posted a video online. Not from a fancy studio, but from a small park. He sang the same song, this time dedicated to every kid who lost someone but keeps dreaming anyway. That video broke hearts everywhere. Thousands of comments poured in from strangers who said his voice helped them heal, remember, and believe again. When asked what he'd do if he won, Miguel didn't talk about money or fame. "I'll build a small music school in my hometown," he said, smiling shyly. "For kids who can't afford lessons, just like me." And in that moment, everyone watching realized something profound. Miguel Cruz didn't just bring back the voice of Elvis, he brought back hope. Because sometimes, the smallest voices echo the loudest, and a boy from Manila can remind the world that love, music, and dreams never really die.